what's up, everybody? I'm Alex Warren, and welcome to Locked In, the show where we investigate the truth behind the clickbait. Once my guest steps into the studio, we set the timer to 60 minutes, lock the door, and throw away the key. The only way out is when the timer hits 0.
You actually scared the shit out of me.
On the episode, we're here with Tana Mongeau.
Mojo.
How do you say your why? It's spelled Mongeau.
Well, I mean, take it up with the French, you know? Like I didn't create it, you know. I'm just here living with it. Trying to get married, seriously, change it anytime.
What would be ideal for your last name? Paul? Is Paul ideal?
You set me up for that joke and
Sorry. I'm sorry. That's my first podcast.
Was that your ringtone?
I should probably mute
Is that your ringtone, you big Bella Thorneinator?
No. I gotta mute my phone next time.
Wild Thornberries.
It's my first podcast.
No, yeah, seriously.
For anyone unfamiliar. So you dated Bella Thorne.
I did do that. Oh, we're going right into it.
Yeah. You like the segue?
No, it's great. It's great. I just want to let everybody know watching at home. This room is like, it's dark. It's scary. Like, I feel like I'm like in a fucking, like I'm locked in a closet.
There's
like,
no one in here too.
It's scary. Yeah. No, and I believe his whole like throw away the key bit. Like I'm not getting out of here.
You can try and leave. I wouldn't. I mean, if you want to.
There's like a big man outside with like a gun.
No, for obvious safety reasons, we can't actually lock the door. So we have one of my friends, Calvin, out there, holding the door shut.
Oh, seriously, no, and I love that. Dream podcast.
So in this podcast, this is the pilot, so everyone welcome.
I don't know why you would make me your first. Like, who couldn't do it to make me your first guest?
The whole objective of this is pretty much is I find you guilty of a crime, and you have to prove why you're not guilty of it.
Oh my God, you sound like the courts.
I know. So the crime is faking marital status with a YouTuber for evading tax purposes. Is what is exactly.
What if I just say I did it?
You did?
No, I don't. I mean, really, no, because it was never legal. So like a legal marriage. So
it wasn't a legal marriage?
No, we were never legally married. So I mean, really, I'm just a big fucking idiot.
Well, no, I think on the topic of dating and stuff, you have had an extensive dating record.
Don't say that.
What would you like? I don't know, off the top of your head, what was the worst one?
Probably my first one ever that no one really knows about.
Okay, what was your worst, influencer?
Well, no, but it was kind of public, to be honest with you. Like,
who was it?
Like his name was Summer.
Okay.
And I started my YouTube channel with him as my boyfriend, like whole boyfriend tag. They got like millions of views. Like people knew about us together and stuff. And like,
where is he now?
It was just awful. Hopefully rotting in the pits of hell.
What happened? Wait, what happened? Why did it end so bad?
Oh my God. I need to talk in like a non-slanderous, like Trumpy way. So
sure.
let me do that so I don't get any more lawsuits. Seriously, my lawyers are this close to quitting or
I
just
got you.
I talked about this on my podcast.
Sure.
He like blackmailed me at the end of our relationship, and I paid him. Like he fully extorted me, and it was crazy because like I didn't want to be with him anymore. And he like went through my phone and found out a bunch of shit. And he was awful to me, so maybe I cheated a little. And then he caught me, and then he blackmailed me. It was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, we were both young. I would hope that he's, grown up to be maybe a better person and wouldn't do that again in his life. But I also don't know. And
how old were you?
He bought a Mercedes with my money.
Oh.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
You bought your assistant Mercedes?
Yeah. So before I was buying people cars, I was just getting blackmailed and extorted for like my whole bank account. And then they'd like get a car. So I've always been really charitable.
Got it. Okay. Blackmail Tana, get a car.
Yeah. Not anymore. Now I'm fucking strong, tough as nails. You're not getting $1.
Tell me if you're comfortable with it. Tell me about the Bella Thorne relationship, because that was something big. She wrote a song about you called "Stupid Fucking Bitch."
Imagine being so angry at someone that you write a song called "Stupid Fucking Bitch" about them. Like, damn, like shit. My bad. I don't know. There's a lot about it. I definitely accredit Bella to a lot of my success, even to this day. I think I was a very different person before I met her. I think she was like the first person ever like show me, like Hollywood and kind of teach me the ropes of like being a little party girl ass bitch and like, how to brand things like that. And she's very authentic. And I really for a while, I was definitely very pissed at her. She made that song and people would ask me about her and I'd be like, man, fuck Bella Thorne.
Yeah.
But deep down, I was like, man, fuck Bella Thorne. You know what I mean? Like I was just like upset about it. I think I speak highly of her. She's a great person. And I don't know, I miss her. Super fucking hot.
Really?
She's so fucking hot.
Okay, so Jake Paul and Bella Thorne text you. Which one are you more inclined to answer? Yeah, I went there. I'm with it. For anyone not knowingly, Tana is very known for obviously dating Bella Thorne. In the relationship sense, she's obviously a successful businesswoman of herself. But like dating wise, you have dated very prominent people.
Extensive dating history. I'm actually right now debating on if I should write a book, like a tell-all book about every person I've ever dated. But I think they all would collectively sue me, though. That's my only problem.
Oh no, just change the names. If you're writing about,
you can still sue someone for like alluding to you in a slanderous way.
Well, don't allude to them. Just kind of just talk about your experience. I think you have the right to talk about an experience you've gone through.
But
you have lived so many goddamn lives.
I know, I'm like a cockroach. I just can't die.
No,
can't.
But like, I swear to God, like there's moments where like, you wake up at 7 p.m. sometimes and
moments. Every Tuesday, man.
Tana was an hour late to this.
You gotta lie to me. You gotta start lying to me about the times I'm serious. But I am really sorry to be late.
No.
Please don't cancel me in the comments
So if you write a book, what would your chapter 1 be?
I'm in a place right now where I think that could be maybe in the near future. So I'm debating and my fans obviously have the say in the end of the day. Whatever they want is like what I want to give them.
Yeah.
But either like a tell-all for my life up to now, which sounds so traumatic and just awful, sincerely, or a tell-all dating book.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess chapter 1 of the dating book would be like, yo, don't do anything I've ever done. I've done so much questionable shit. But I guess chapter 1 of like the life story would be like, I was born in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Like your origin story. No, but genuinely speaking, you are 23?
Yes.
You're 23.
You've lived.
No, but you're a multimillionaire. You're successful. You're an entrepreneur. I mean, one of the things is like, you've come out with your wine, Dizzy,
yes,
which is insane. Congratulations.
Wow,
you've come out with a fragrance that's in Hot Topic. It's called Black Heart
it's
Skull.
Not in Hot Topics.
Rollerball fragrance.
Not
which
what it's
is
called
nice.
at all. That's literally. Do you actually know that? I don't even know if you know this, but you're alluding to a scandal.
Yes, I am. Why do you think else would I be alluding to it?
Oh, okay. So, you were being way too nice for like a minute, and I was like,
No. So, you have a podcast called Canceled, which is very fitting because in many things you have been involved in a lot of scandalous things.
A lot of cancellations.
One of them being is that your fragrance has a very similar smell to one called Black Heart Skull Rollerball.
No, not the smell. See, you don't even fucking have your facts right.
Okay, fine. That's fine. No, please tell me about how your scandal and I'm wrong about it. I would love to hear about it.
Shut up. No, it was like, cause it was I did my research. I didn't really see anything that I thought looked like it, but apparently back in the day in Hot Topic, there was like a similar skull packaging that I used. And looking back, I mean, I think at the time I did my best with the resources I had, or maybe I didn't. Who fucking knows? Sound off in the comments below. Feel free.
It sold out in 73 minutes.
It really did, and it was amazing. And I love the smell of it to this day. I still have some, and like I'll wear it. Like I think it smells amazing. I should have had better packaging. I'll say that. I should have, it should have been something so cute. And I tried. I was like, I want it to be a model that looks like me. And they were like, well, we have a skull.
In all seriousness and with all the shit that I give you, I'm genuinely proud. I always ask you why you have 2 assistants. You're like, I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm like, what do you fucking do?
I don't know.
What do you genuinely do? But like, I'm reading this and I'm reading so much about you. And like, I have a whole dossier on the people that I interview or talk to. And, this is really sick.
Well, thanks, Alex. Warren. I don't like when you're nice to me, though.
I don't either. It feels really off.
Because our relationship is very, like, we just talk our shit to each other.
We slander each other on Twitter. Like, genuinely speaking, Tana and I go for each other's throat. Like, I'll call her a whore. Too. And then
I'm not going to do it. But even cameras off. It's not really like a bit. It's just how we are. And I prefer friendships like that. All my close friends and I appreciate nice people, but I think that I like banterous.
Well, if I don't make fun of you, I'm not friends with you.
Exactly.
It's my philosophy.
That's how I am. And obviously some people aren't like that, but I get along the best with people like that.
No, like, and if you had something that if you came up to me and you're like, hey, like this really hurt my feelings, I'd be like, I'm so sorry.
No, you'd be like,
and I'd call it to you twice. No, but seriously, I think, I'm really genuinely proud of all the scandals you've had.
Thank you, seriously.
How is Canceled, your podcast?
It's doing really great. I mean, I love it more than anything in the world. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do. We've had a couple hiccups when it's like your own thing and your own like, it's whatever. But I mean, I love shooting it and I have so much fun. It just, having a podcast, I think makes life a lot more interesting. Like when shit happens, it's like, and also so much bad shit happens to me and just like my luck and shit, but it almost gives you a purpose. It's like, I can't wait to fucking talk about this on the podcast, so
100%.
I love it. But it also gets me in so much trouble. And people treat you differently too. Even guys now are like, I don't know if I should fuck you. You're going to talk about it on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Like, please just fuck me.
So what I'm building is I'm trying to kind of like, I don't know. It's something, podcasts are just so interesting to me.
They really are.
Like you and I have had extensive conversations, but I think this gives us, but we're always sometimes too busy with work.
Yeah.
So like this gives us an excuse to 100%. Work and have those conversations, which is nice.
That's why I love it. That's so true.
I think one of the things I really wanted to tap into was I was reading something about your parents, and like you've done a reality show called like on MTV. I think you've done several.
And I got sued for everything I said already.
No, but is there anything like, because I feel like with me at least, and the things that I've gone through, of course, if anyone doesn't know, both my parents are dead. But yours are very much alive.
They're dead to me, honestly.
No, but like genuinely speaking, I want to understand a little bit from your perspective, kind of the things you've gone through, because like I said earlier, you've gone through millions of lives. You've gone through so many things where you've become, and I hate to say it because it sounds gross coming out of my mouth, an independent, strong, businesswoman.
There's a gun to his head off camera, I promise.
Fuck, that felt weird. No, but genuinely speaking, that is something that you've been able to build. And I think I credit a lot of like the hardships and trauma I've gone through to where my success is now. And it's something for me is trying to understand, you have both your parents, but like you said earlier, they're dead to you. I want to understand why, and like, or not even why, but like how that affects you, and like walk me through it, or at least for the people at home, because I feel like there's so many people who've gone through what you have.
I guess I never really talk about it. It definitely affects me. It affects me every day. It's an interesting life. I'm also an only child, so you definitely can kind of get deep in your thoughts of like, fuck, I wish I had what, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't talk about this a lot. Like my diehard fans definitely know, but like Amari's family kind of like took me in. And so I'm literally like, I live the life of someone who is like adopted pretty much. Like I go to their holidays, I talk to them, I call them if I need advice. Like I talk to them every day. And I'm like, for the rest of my life, honestly, I will say like that the best gift anyone has ever given me was Amari giving me family. And that was from like being like 12 years old. I would just go there all the time, and they would always cook for us. And if we got in trouble in school, it was like we're going to go to them and they're going to figure it out. And like whenever I was, doing, anytime I've done any fuck shit, they're like, there to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh my God, my boyfriends, you should hear Amari's mom. She is like, why are you dating a coloring book? And do not bring him home.
Right.
So they've just always been there. So that's kind of like how it is. But I mean, I think I definitely also grew up with the mindset, for me at least, that I was kind of, until them, like, I guess like alone in this world, which is an interesting way to grow up.
Well, that's how I grew up too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Kind of like, exactly, kind of like, if I don't do this for myself, no one else ever will.
Yeah.
But I look at a lot of friends that I have, and this is no shade to anyone in the way they grow up, because obviously I would have loved to just grow up with like a golden retriever and a white fence and a bunch of money and kill it. Like I'm not, like I'm jealous, but I'm saying like, have a lot of people I know that like come from money, and I don't think I would like necessarily like myself as much if I had personally grown up like that. Like I enjoy being self-made and working for like what I have. And I think everything happens for a reason. I don't know. I was meant to be in this life for some reason.
No, I get it 100%. I mean, obviously when I was young, my dad passed away, and then I had an alcoholic, abusive mother.
Yeah.
And the thing that genuinely kept me going and also really allowed me to be successful was the fact that I had amazing friends around me.
100%.
And so like the people I live with right now are the people who helped me when I was homeless. And I went through all this stuff, and my mom was doing all these fucked things to me and my siblings. It was kind of like, I was the person that was focused on. And so 100%. Like Calvin and Patrick and Papper, and they all took me in, and it was something crazy. So I completely understand.
Yeah. It's very interesting I've just always lived like my friends are my family. Like, you know what I mean? And that's how I treat them and how much I love them. And I don't think I'd be here without them. Amari and Ashley especially like have just done everything for me from the absolute jump, and they've seen me through. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like Amari, even Isabella as well, they would like if my family was fighting, they were like jumping in the fights. Like, you know what I mean? Like they've been there from actually ever so literally day one.
So you're 23. You've done a lot. What I've noticed is you have so much money, yet you don't own a fucking house.
I know.
You keep jumping from rentals to rentals, and every time me and Tana have been friends for 2.5 years, something like that, which is absolutely crazy to think I can stand you for that long.
I know, seriously. I'm surprised you haven't just like blocked me on everything. Therapy.
No, but genuinely speaking, like I've seen you go through like 4 different mansions and waste tons of money. Why haven't you? So many people. My real estate agent asks me why you don't buy a house, and I'm curious on why.
Well, there was a while before. Let me think. Everything you're asking me, I have to answer without getting sued.
Wait, but okay.
But for slander. That was just so not a thing to me before. Seriously, you know that, because I've always been so outspoken. It's very crazy to get humbled down to the point to know that, like, if I say something in the wrong way about someone, I might have to write them a check for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
100%. I'm just stoked you think my podcast is going to be big enough to get
people will
slander.
take it anywhere. I could say it on the street and they're like, how can I get $1 from Tana? But so before I switched to my current management, there was just a lot of things were not done necessarily right. It's not that I didn't have money. I've been grateful, like, since I've done this, to have continued to make money and have money. But even just tax wise, credit wise, there were definitely problems for a while where they were just like, I had to write crazy fucking checks to the government where it was like, fuck. And then it would just like credit whatever. And then now I'm in a place where I can, but like, bro, I can't even keep a boyfriend for a fucking 5 days. Like, that's really my problem with owning my own house, is that, like, you know, I'm always moving. I'm always wanting to be somewhere else. I don't know where I'm going to want to be. So, like, I've gone from having big ass, like, content vibe houses with 13 people living with me and you're like scootering through the house and whatever, to now just living with like the people I kind of work with and love. And,
I
like,
rode
whatever.
a moped into your house or something crazy like that.
You did. No. And you scuffed my floor and I had to fix it when I left. It was like thousands of dollars. I hope you know. Seriously, thank you so much.
You're welcome. No, I got you. What are friends for?
Yeah, but eventually I promise you I will buy a house and
do you
kill
just
it.
feel like you can't settle?
Definitely. And I'm like that in every way right now. However, I would buy it for like an investment property, but I'm also just doing so much that's the last thing I want to put on like their plate, my plate. I will do that though. Like I almost look at that phase of my life to be a little later, but I understand it's about to be time and I need to like get it together for sure. But I don't know. I'm just very all over the place. And it's not like I'm spending I'm blessed enough to not be spending what I feel like is detrimental on it, you know, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't be just having investment properties, and I'll definitely get into that.
Do you think...
So everyone stops fucking yelling at me. Jesus fuck. I invest in other things, you know, and equity and all that stuff, but I just
believe
don't.
you.
Yeah.
No, I genuinely think you're a lot richer than me. Thank you, Tana.
I don't know if that's true, though. You just buy, you buy so much shit that just says, I have so much money, I don't know what to do with it.
But I don't flaunt it. That's the difference. Like, I buy these things, but I don't flaunt it, which I'm very proud of.
I don't think you're like that, like, you're like a braggy, like, stuck up, and you're very, like, humble about your shit. But I walk in your house and there's like 17 new motorcycles and chickens and karaoke machines and like what, like we're gonna get a goat next week. Like, there's just always something.
So I have the issue of like I said earlier, I didn't really much have a childhood, which I think you can relate to.
I relate to this so hard.
I'm living out my dream childhood, and that's something psychologically that I'm doing, is kind of like, I never was allowed to have a motorcycle growing up.
Oh yeah.
So I bought 17 of them, and not 7. It's an exaggeration, but I bought one for me and all my friends so we can all have fun together. And then I bought like a half pipe, and I bought like the dream car that I was obsessed with. And these are things that, you know, financially I think I regret, but emotionally and mentally I don't.
There's a mini trampoline in my living room right now, so I resonate completely. I'm such a fucking little child. Like, I love Peppa Pig and shit. I need to talk about it with like a therapist. But
do you think the fact that you can't settle transgresses from like your marriage? Like how you can't commit to anything is what I was thinking.
No, I would have committed there though. Seriously, like, what's up?
Was that you or him? Like, all right? So I want to understand, and what you can and can't talk about is totally okay. you don't have to talk about any of this.
10 minutes into your podcast.
No, but genuinely speaking, you don't have to talk about this if you don't want to. With you and Jake, because I've had a lot of personal conversations with you. Because I know the relationship was real. What ended that?
For me, at least. No, I'm just kidding.
Or like, what was the problem? Were you the problem?
No, and I think in every other situation in life, I've been the problem. Like, he definitely, I would hope that he knows how much I loved him, and like I would have done anything for him and like all that type of shit. But life just also, we were we were talking about this before off camera, but like, we were in such a content, everything was for content. Everything we were doing was for content. We were both doing that, and we were together, and we were being YouTubers, and that was like a vibe and fun. But also Jake is definitely the type of person, in my opinion, that wants like a Hugh Hefner-y lifestyle. That's the best way to put it. Like, he's definitely like wild, and like at that point that wasn't,
that's not what you want.
And also just like boxing and shit. Like eventually it was like, oh, like we can't vlog all day together and do it's like, you're gonna go hit shit and have a concussion and like be in a breathing tent and like whatever, and then moving all around the world and shit. But I mean, he was my best friend, and I mean, I think everyone knows. I hope that one day we could like be to a point where we're, you know, best friends again and chill. But a lot of shit just like went down too. Like just, I don't even know. You
don't have to talk about it. I like podcast aside, that was something I was genuinely curious about. That's something where it's like for me, I don't know if you know this. I grew up watching your content, which is fucking nuts. It's so funny. Me and Tana have been friends for 2.5 years. I don't think I've ever told her this.
I don't think you ever told me that.
I grew up watching like Jake and Logan's videos. Like those are like the things that really like, you know, inspired me to make content. And then when I started seeing you and Jake, I started watching your content and I was like, this girl's fucking nuts.
Oh wait, I love you.
But no, and
that was such a compliment.
No. But and then I was like, holy shit, like, you know, you're cool. And then
So wait, Jake Paul put you on to me?
Yeah. Which is fucking weird.
I guess the rest of the world thanks for like the millions of followers. Jake, seriously.
No, when I first met you at our house, I think it was at my house, I genuinely was shaking. I was like, holy shit, that's Tana. And you were like, oh my God, I love you. Like, let's film sometime.
That's so fucking
and I was
crazy.
like,
because now
no
you want to
way.
deck me in the face.
No, in a good way though. I want to deck you in the face in a good way. Which is it's just so absolutely nuts. But
it's so awesome to see like who people grow up watching. Because I grew up watching like Shane and like those type of people and shit. And like I feel like it like reflects in my personality, and like you growing up watching Logan, it like reflects in your personality too. It's crazy to see the way influencers like can shape you.
You know, me and Cover, we mix work with love in a way where it's like our relationship. My TikTok is...
It's really hard.
It's difficult.
It's a really hard thing to do.
Do you think with the person that you are evidently going to be with is going to, like, do you prefer them to understand your line of work, or do you want it just to be a regular person?
There's a part of me that I've done all these people that understand my life of work, and I'm like, fuck, I just want to be with like a real estate agent. But at the same time, the relationships I feel like I felt the most alone in were when I was just like with people who did not understand me and what I had to do or anything I was going through, or like how my life worked or how I moved, you know what I mean? And that's, even just with my last relationship, it's so much struggle. It's like, why the fuck are you doing that on the internet? Like, what the fuck? And it was just like, I was like, because I literally have to keep my lights on. What don't you get? Like, you know what I mean? It was just like so much back and forth of that. So I think that I definitely appreciate someone understanding what I do, but I've also, I don't know, you know, you never know.
Because you've been with like
everyone.
No. That's not what I meant. No, but I feel like I don't know. I with me and you, I genuinely do really care about you, and it's fucking again weird coming out of my fucking mouth.
This is the nicest you've ever been to me.
I know.
I'm so uncomfortable.
No, but what is? I think at the end of the day, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you see yourself happily, like, you know, getting down?
I would get married and pregnant tomorrow if I was in love. No,
really?
Oh yeah. I would do the whole damn thing. Seriously.
What's your type?
Literally, like, put a bunch of names in a hat and pull it out. I don't care. No, I don't really have a type. I really physically, like, at all. I don't. You've seen, but the Rolodex of people I've dated, all of them look so absolutely, completely different. I'm such a personality person. Like, if someone just like makes me laugh, makes me happy, I think they're smart, I think they're funny. Like, you could really look like a homeless man under the 405, and you can see that from my track history. So, I don't know. Yeah, but in 5 years,
such a fucking interesting personality.
I hope to just be really happy and doing what I love. I don't really, you know, if I make it 5 years, shit.
Well, why wouldn't you?
I'm kidding. Oh,
why wouldn't you?
Dark. You're just like, oh,
sorry.
I hope that I do. I would love to. But I've just always been a very like day by day individual as well. Sure. If I start reading into the future too much, I like spiral and go insane.
I have really bad anxiety about the future.
So do I, in a way. So I just kind of leave it up to life. And I also just always think about, like, if 5 years ago you asked me where I would be or how I'd feel or what I would have done in the past 5 years, my answer would have been nothing like what these past 5 years have been. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's exactly what I answer that question. I love how I ask that question, because every time I get asked that question by an interview, I'm like, if you had asked me 5 years ago if I'd be here, I'd be, you're fucking nuts.
Yeah, like literally, you're insane, and none of that would have ever happened to me.
You remember how I said I was a fan of you?
Yeah.
And like how all this, I went to Tanacon.
Yeah, that was our first bet that we talked about. I don't know. I think the biggest part right now is I'm just thinking about everything that you've been able to accomplish and anything that... Not conventions though, seriously.
My point exactly is something is like, was this like your idea, genuinely speaking, of just kind of going out and being like, let's do a convention where people come? Or was that something where like your team was like, hey, this might be a good idea, and then it just didn't work out?
I posted a YouTube video back in the day ranting about my experience with VidCon. And I will say right away, they've completely turned it around and they are completely different. And they were awesome to me, even after I completely didn't deserve it. So there's no VidCon slander here. But at the time I was, frustrated and I was ranting, and all the comments were kind of like, you should have your own convention.
Right.
And then I think that one thing that definitely looking back that I take full accountability for and like blame was that I was very angry with the way they made me feel. So I definitely let my spite drive some decisions. Like you're really going to have it on the same day as VidCon across the street. You can't plan it for like 6 more months. Like what, just how stupid, seriously. And I think that experience really like humbled me, made me sit back, look in the mirror and be like, you can't fucking be an emotional driven psychopath, especially when other people are involved and like, what the fuck? But at the same time, of my whole career, if I could go back and like not do anything, it would be that 100%.
Yeah. But at the same time, sadly, like the mistakes we make us into the people we are. And I think, I love my fans so much because they gave me absolutely everything. And I would rather let myself or really anyone down but them like forever. So it'll always like weigh on me. And while I take like full blame for every decision I made wrong, I also just partnered with someone who was not meant to be in the convention space either. And kind of, I was young and like I wanted to be the talent of it and I wanted this company to run all of the logistics and I believed in them and I had faith in them and I thought it would go over great. And then it just absolutely fucking did not. And I don't know. I remember watching the Shane documentary about it. For the rest of my life, I will appreciate him so much for that, for allowing me to at least kind of share my side. Because I think had I not had a platform like Shane's to talk my shit about that on, that I'd be under the 405 in a tent right now for sure. There's no way. Knowing you kind of, you know how to make shit work. No. But like genuinely speaking, you are like a hustler at heart. And I know like, I'm not trying to dismiss the mistakes you've made, like obviously, but no. But like, here's the thing. Yes, I didn't know you at the time, but just by the way I see you and behind camera and stuff like that, you're a lot different than, I think there's a big misconception about you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
You're actually way worse in person than you were online.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. I like start being nice and then I'm like, oh shit.
No, you really can't be, seriously. And I appreciate it. Humble me down. But yeah, no.
No.
Tanacon. I've never said this anywhere.
Please.
I was going to do a Tanacon too.
I'll be there.
With Playlist Live. They were like,
listen, are you going to Playlist?
I am going to this Playlist.
I'm going to Playlist.
I've been going to like 5 or 6 of them. And so this will be like my 5th or 6th. So
did you go last year?
I went to the last one.
Yeah. I went last time.
Yeah. And like Charlie and Dixie and everyone was there. It was like Addison, their whole
Did I not see you? Did we know each other?
I don't think we knew each other.
Oh my gosh.
That is fucked up. Did we really not know each other? Because I know if I knew you would have been in my fucking hotel room at 8 a.m.
That's what I'm saying. All right. So we definitely didn't know each other.
Yeah, no, you would have been up my ass. This was actually going to be so fun, though, I feel like. Because, like, think about this. Like, you and me are going to be staying on the same floor of a hotel, like neighbors for like 3 days. Like, that's your dream to torture me. Like,
we were neighbors for a good amount of time.
Yeah, that is really
I would show up to her house and literally with the craziest shit.
There was a point in time where you got my door codes. And I just remember one day you came in like on a scooter. You had my door codes. And I was just sitting in my room like, there's no fucking way.
You always have Taco Bell on your bed.
Always. I think there's Taco Bell on my bed right now. In life right now. I love Taco Bell.
Do you think Billie Eilish will come to Tanacon too? Yeah. Shit, these conventions are really getting me.
No.
Why?
Absolutely not. Billie Eilish unfollowed me. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Deservedly so. If I was Billie Eilish, I would have never followed me. If I was Billie Eilish.
Why do you think she unfollowed you?
She was following me for a while. I was like, and I still am. I'll always be her biggest fan. I think Billie is just a musical expeditionary and a genius of our generation and so dope. And I stan her. I love her. And she was following me for a while out of like charity. And like it's serious.
That's how I think of you filming with me.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. No, you clout me up and I appreciate it for the rest of my life. But,
really?
Yes.
Cool.
I only I like to do things that are fun and also, dope for what we do for a living. And I love working with you because work is like also really fun, I'm
going to be nice for like 2 minutes, like for 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah. So there's not going to be a pun. There's not going to be anything. I'm just going to genuinely say it. I'm going to try my best. Okay. I just need you to not make any jokes.
He's like shaking.
Shit. Fuck.
Like gripping under the table.
Out of LA. And you know how, like I've been here for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
I film with you. I film with Larry, and I film with my friends.
Yeah.
It's very rare for me to
jump out of that comfort zone.
Yeah. And genuinely speaking, every time you are 3 hours late to my house, it is by far the best time filming ever. And it's something where it's like, just enjoy this while it happens, because you have about a year left of me being nice. Like, and then I'm just going to be egotistical.
You're just like, enjoy this because you have about a year left in general. You're going to fucking croak.
I
love filming with you.
Thank you.
Really do.
Do you want to be the godmother to my children?
Oh my God. I love being a godmother. I think it's the best. It's really, really the best.
What do they do?
I just like to just buy gifts I am like kind of a...
you do know cocaine's not a gift for a 3-year-old, right?
And I've been told that, but it's like, God, just start them young. No.
Get them explained to it now, and they won't want it when they're later.
Kim, my hair girl, made me like the unofficial godmother to her daughter, Kiki.
She's so nice.
And she's
amazing.
And she's raising the best fucking daughter. And Kiki and I are like best friends. I like actually watch her all the time. We do like TikTok and like I get her gifts and stuff for Christmas. I got her a flat screen and an iPad and all this shit. And I was just like, do
you want to be my godmother?
Yeah, I'm a pretty good godmother. I'm not gonna lie. Like I fucking love her. She brought me a gummy pickle the other day and she's like, I got this for you at the candy store. And I was like sobbing.
Speaking of gifts, I've been surprising you with some awesome stuff for my vlog lately.
Oh my God, that was really fun the other day though.
I surprised Tana with a girl who, I don't know if she means to look like you or if she just does.
I think she just does. But she changed her like TikTok to like Tana Mongeau too. Like she kind of blew up.
She kind of utilized it, which is something.
I would do the same shit.
Right. So I found her and she was, she was super down to film. And so I had her come over and I said, Tana, I have a surprise for you. Come over to my house. And one by one, I started surprising everyone with, I called her Tana's doppelganger. Yeah. And it was something really interesting. But out of all the surprises I've surprised you with, what was the worst?
Well, I mean, considering the fact that the last one was hissing cockroaches and I almost had to be in a straight jacket in a fucking psych ward and everyone around me almost got cut off because everyone was fake as fuck for not telling me. That was literally, oh my God, I still can like feel the feeling in my bones when I think about it. Utterly traumatizing and oh my God. But this most recent one was fire. And I think it's funny because Alex will do this thing where like 6 months before you're going to surprise me, you'll slip in a conversation like, it'd be so funny if I surprised you with this. And you like said that about her. And I was like, yeah, that'd be so funny. And then other surprises happen. You forget about it. And then finally, whenever the surprise happens, it's like, you motherfucker, you told me this 6 months ago, like over a bagel in your kitchen with Clover. And now you're doing it. Like, and you always execute, which I think is very admirable.
Was that a compliment?
Yes, it was. This is so fucking weird.
It's so weird. All right, ready? Say something bad about me.
Oh my God, you're just fucking awful.
All right, so dating life on that topic.
Yeah, but Billie Eilish unfollowed me because of Jake Paul. She commented on our engagement post and was like, listen, sweetie, this is not what we're going to do. And
she commented?
Me. Yeah.
What did she say?
I don't know what she exactly said. Let me see.
I love how I said no phones, and somehow you got a comfortable chair, a phone.
Seriously, air conditioning on, nice new water hitting my puff, live life, breathe air.
You're quite literally, I think, the only guest I'll ever do that for.
Seriously, everyone else can have back problems and suck it. I'm just kidding. Honestly, my scoliosis was so crippling, and Alex had me on this like little chair, and I was like, okay.
Don't forget, we're still investigating this whole, crime that you've been committing. Do you think you've actually legally ever committed, illegally committed a crime?
I'm sure. Oh, well, yeah, like back in the day before, in Vegas.
What? Yeah, like what?
Sold some drugs.
Well, you can talk about hypotheticals. Like, you used to be a drug dealer, hypothetically, right?
Hypothetically, I wouldn't say I was like trap god, like, what I mean? Like Fezco, Rue, suitcase, euphoria. Sure. I just, sometimes you got to make some ends meet, right?
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not something that I loved. I definitely, during that phase of life, like, that's the word. I did a lot of awful things. Like, not like off, but like illegal. Yeah, awful. No, yeah. Mm-hmm. In this life, I don't think I have broken the law yet. But I saw this psychic a long time ago, and she wrote me out this really big PDF of all these things that she thought was going to happen to me, right?
Okay. How much of it has happened?
All of it except one thing.
What was
and I mean
thing?
Like 10 different bullet points. She told me at the time I was dating this guy, Brad, Canada guy, Justin Bieber guy. She told me like in 7 days.
Brad Sosa, February to April 2019. They broke up after Sosa cheated on Mongeau.
Yeah, not Mongeau. So, but she told me like, you're going to catch your boyfriend cheating on you in like 10 days. I did. And then I was like, whoa, that psychic told me that. And the next thing she told me a bunch of shit was going to happen with like my work life and like my family. She told me my family would like, I'd get into like legal trouble with them, like whole thing. She really like predicted all this shit that would end up happening. And
what if she's like narrating your life and like pulling strings?
I need to call that bitch. I'm not even kidding. I need more answers. But she told me that when I'm 28, I'll have like a scare for going to jail for something.
How old are you? You're 20. You have 5 years.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Live it up.
Seriously. But like, also, isn't that not scary?
That sounds fucking scary.
So scary.
Are you finding that comment?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I feel like it might be impossible to find that.
No.
Wait, do you believe in past lives? You said in this life. Walk me through
kind
this.
of how I talk. I don't know if I believe in past lives because I think that I'm very religious.
Okay.
I'm a Christian.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I used to be. I was like a little church leader for a second. I was a church leader for a second of my life. I put that on everything. I was doing like Molly on Wednesdays and church on Thursdays. Seriously, it was awful.
Oh wow.
But I love God. So I feel like past lives kind of conflict with my religious views.
Wait, tell me about the Christian shit.
Oh yeah, no. So I'm religious. I love God. I pray often. Sometimes he grants them, sometimes he's got a different plan.
It's so interesting. I didn't know you were a Christian.
Yeah, I'm very religious. I should go to church more. I used to go with Taylor Holder a lot. Fun fact. Tough subject.
No, okay. So running back, wait, what did you do as a church leader?
Just like, I feel like a church leader when you're young is just kind of a glorified babysitter.
Yeah.
Like it's not, you know what I mean? It's nothing like crazy, but you know what I mean? Like during worship, if someone talked, I'd be like, shh. Or if there was like an event or something, I'd like hand out pizza.
God is present.
God is present. I don't know, but I liked it. My church was the first time I ever felt like a sense of community and like people kind of being there for me and stuff. And I definitely think with like a bad childhood, like God probably helped me out a little bit, like finding God and praying and stuff like that, for sure. It didn't help me enough to not make me a drug dealer, but you know.
So you know my friend Calvin. He's Christian.
Yeah.
He's waiting till marriage to have sex.
Swear to God.
Is that why you?
Swear to God.
Is that why you got married to Jake?
No, I'm still waiting till marriage. I've actually been celibate this whole time. It's all a big bit.
That's not what my whiteboard says.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, Calvin is 22.
I forgot about this. At one point, I messaged Billy, "Oh, so you're coming to the wedding?" And she said no.
Oh, that's probably.
No,
my
but
God.
She commented too. She commented on our. Wait. Oh, right here. Right. On our engagement photo, she said, "Eek, yikes," and then unfollowed me.
There's no way.
I was broken. But also, I completely understand. I would do the same thing if I was Billie Eilish. You know what I mean?
That's fucking nuts.
What should I do? I've been debating, like, what if right now I actually was like, yo, I'm choosing celibacy. I'm a born again virgin. I get baptized the whole nine, and I don't have sex until I'm married. I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either.
What if I decide it does? What if I just right now I wait till marriage?
Yeah.
And just delete the past.
You would not be able to fucking do that.
Seriously.
I don't think so. No, but on the dating life, on the marriage and everything, you are bisexual. That's something you're very open about online and something that...
I'm actually pansexual.
What is that?
It just kind of, it means that for me, gender knows no bounds. I don't care about someone's gender. Like, same with looks. I mean, I kind of associate. I'm just the type of person that I'm very like, whatever your heart is, whatever.
Yeah, I heard that too. No, it was like a whistle. It was like...
My popcorn lung is activated. I need to stop vaping.
We got our own built-in fog machine, Tana's mouth.
No, seriously. It adds to the spooky vibe in here.
It's not that scary, honest to God. But now you're deflecting.
In a dark, hot room.
Tell me more. You're getting your ADHD. Tell me more about. I'm learning about you being pansexual, which is something interesting. When did you know? Because something for me is like, obviously I'm straight, and something is like, you know, I have a lot of gay friends. I have a lot of now pansexual friends.
Every straight white male ever.
No. But I'm saying it as someone that is like, I'm fascinated by something I am not, and it's something I'm fascinated by how you found out and when you knew, and the struggle you had of, you know, coming out or whatever, if you had one, and things like that. And that's to me something that I'm super always interested by, and I love hearing about. And everyone has a different story, and it makes them who they are. So
it is very cool to me.
The floor is yours.
I'm obsessed with people's stories as well in that sense, and I love learning about so much. At least for me, this is just my personal thing. I would never victimize myself in the sense of coming out, because I think I had it very easy, especially in comparison to so many kids around the world. Even like the Don't Say Gay Act that was just passed in Florida, where kids that are you know, if they're out at school, it's by law now the teachers are required to tell their parents, which can cause so much like just turmoil.
That's fucking stupid.
Just thinking about the fear that so many kids like live in. You know, like actually having to come out, I feel a lot of empathy for. So I'm very lucky in the sense of how things happen for me. Even with Amari, like watching him come out, just seeing like a lot of people weren't as, and that's my brother. And you know what I mean? Like I just remember actually like being so torn up, like how can you not fucking just accept someone for who they are? So I'm lucky in that sense. I was like pretty straight my whole life until, and there's a lot of people for years were accusing me of queer baiting with Bella as well. That was hard for me. I will say that. I don't mean that in a victimizing way, but I was like, bro, I fucking love her. And it was just like, and just seeing the way people were, like when I was in a relationship with a guy, people would just validate it. But then I'd be out with Bella and he'd be like, Tana Mongeau and best friend Bella Thorne, then go to lunch. And I'd be like, suck a dick. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's my girlfriend. But she was the first person who made me realize, oh, maybe like I can like someone that's not a guy, I guess. Like I immediately saw her and I tweeted before. I kind of like manifested our relationship. I was like, I want to date Bella Thorne. And then she did some charity and we did. But in that relationship, I was like, whoa, like I just really like this person for who they are. And she was very accepting of everyone and very open and always wanting to like try. She's also pansexual, to try new things or be with anyone or like whatever. And I was just very enamored and inspired by it. And then I think over time I just realized I was just attracted to like all people. And then I was like, I didn't really know there was a term for it. Around that same time, probably like 6 months into dating Bella, I like realized that about myself. And then I don't think I ever knew the term for it. And then someone just said it and I was like, wait, that's me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Actually, I'm so curious. I've asked you this off camera, but I think this is like, I don't know why I'm so goddamn interested about it. And I feel like if I'm interested about it, people are. What is your preference? Like, because I know everyone. Is there not a certain percent you lean towards, or is it kind of just equal? Like if it's just...
I've definitely dated more guys, so you could say that. But at the same time, like the future knows no bounds for me.
Right.
Like I would be with anyone, like if I liked them tomorrow.
Who are you crushing on right now?
I'm trying to think of anyone I have a crush on that I could like share with
Please, I'd love to know. Like this is something where it's like, not just for my vlog, but like just in general.
Just juicy.
I'd love to know.
I was so in love with Pete Davidson and I felt like he was so attainable. And now that dream has been just like shattered.
He has a track record.
Does he?
Yeah, Kim Kardashian,
I thought you meant
Ariana Grande.
So crazy.
Insane. It gives me hope.
Girls just love, like a funny, like that type of guy. I feel like that type of guy is really it. I love it. I mean, I just love men who look like they're dying. That's just the bottom line. Like tattoos, dying, feeble, weak. I could break you. I really don't even know.
Do you see yourself settling down like how me and Cobra have?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I was thinking about this the other day, actually. I was with you and Cobra.
You were over. We're making dinner. Like, so Cobra and I, we've been dating for 3.5 years, almost 4. I know I'm going to marry this woman. So it's like,
they are the most perfect couple. And she is I don't know how you did it. Seriously, I think you're a great guy, but like, fuck, she's perfect.
She's amazing. She's so dope.
She's amazing. Yeah. And I was over the other day and she was just like cooking a little keto meal for you guys. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go out to the club. Great. But I was thinking to myself, it was kind of one of the first times I've ever had this thought. Yeah. Like, if I keep living so fast paced and dating crazy, like, it's going to be so much harder for me one day to flip the switch to be like married and settled down. But I also completely would.
I don't think there's a rush to it though. I think honestly, God, I mean, are you happy right now? I think that's a question I reluctantly don't ask my friends, but it's something like, are you happy?
I am happy. Yes. It's stressful and fast right now for sure. But we were also talking about this the other day. Like, I think if my life wasn't stressful and fast paced and crazy, that I would be bored. I find comfort in chaos, which is definitely... need some therapy for that.
But I agree. I find comfort in stress. Like that's something where it's like, if I'm not stressed, I don't think I'm properly putting myself in the situation. It's kind of the same mentality of if you're the smartest person in the room, you're not in the right room. 100%. So it's like you've had some, I hate to say scandals, but something that's like, with people that you aren't friends with anymore. And I don't know if there's things you can talk about isn't, but I think my biggest thing of watching you was hearing about the Idubz scandal. And that was something that like I remember deeply when I was growing up. I watched and I was like, "Oh my God, is there anything you want to talk about that?" Because I don't even think anyone knows about this. But this really
it's like 40 million views.
Really?
I'm not kidding. I
just remember because Idubz lived in Oceanside and I lived in Carlsbad, a town over.
Yeah, I mean. I deserved that. I deserved that whole scandal. That's all I ever really know to say. And obviously, I wish I could go back in time and not have done the dumbass shit that I did. But at the same time, had I not been so vastly, wildly humbled for it, I'm happy with the person that I've become. And I think that a lot of that comes from a lot of these things that have humbled me. And I, like before YouTube, we've talked about this here. I'm lucky for Amari's family, but there was definitely a lot of life lessons that I just never learned. Right. Like I was just definitely like a wild child, like had no like sense of it. And a lot of my personality now has been developed from, being wildly humbled with a lot of my scandals. And I definitely needed that one. And obviously that's a crazy time. I mean, content cops were so, and still are, if you would ever do them, like very iconic for sure. Didn't you make one on Rice Gum? Like Rice Gum
yes.
probably needed that at the time.
So I remember watching it. It was something for me with like growing up is like, again, and I said it earlier, and I know I'm kind of going off of a repetitive strand here, but I grew up again watching you and seeing, what you put out and then meeting you and like a few years later and seeing how different you were and how much you've learned from a lot of the mistakes you made. I genuinely can sit here and say like, if my parents were still alive, I'd want you to meet them type of vibe. Aww. So it's something where it's like, no, but like you've made it. Well, I mean, they're dead, so you're not going to. But like, it's like
well,
no, but like, I keep asking you questions about your scandals, and I don't want you to think that I'm coming after you. It's something where it's like, I know I'm investigating you. This whole like topic of this whole entire podcast, but this is something for people to watch to understand that you've made almost every mistake.
I made every mistake. And counting. Let's see what I can do this week.
But you were famous or in the life at such a young age, and you've grown and learned from them, and you're still making mistakes, but you're learning from them. And I think that's something that's like as I've become friends with you and become closer, and we're very close now, and it's something that I've really grown to learn is like. I weirdly learn things from you that I feel like I shouldn't and things I should. And it's like, yeah. Like, I don't need to know how much cocaine you snort, but like, it's also like, no, that was a joke. She does not snort cocaine.
Just a good old coke joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that sometimes I've definitely felt like some of my purpose in this world is to be there for a lot of people like me, like the misfit kids that kind of grow up and make mistakes and don't just live perfectly and fuck everything up. And you know what I mean? Just try their best to keep getting up even when you fuck up again and again and again.
I fuck up a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't show it. And Tana shows it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I have no choice. Sometimes there's some shit I would have kept under the rug. Let's be real.
No.
But
yeah, the whole point of this podcast and why I'm doing it is essentially to get to the deeper meaning of people like you. Is like understanding like, you put out a lot of things. They get a lot of press coverage and they get a lot of views and a lot of likes. And you've caught on to that and you've been able to immensely get rich from it and, get famous from it. It's something where it's like no one knows the deeper side of kind of why you are the way you are.
Yeah.
And, I just want to hit back to, the fact that you think you're smarter than me. And so I actually
definitely not.
No, I knew you were going to say that. So I actually have some questions here.
Are we going to play Are You Smarter Than Fifth Grader right
We
now?
are playing Are You Smarter Than Fifth Grader.
I just found out about Pangea.
Yeah, okay.
Crazy.
So, no. These are easy questions though. Don't worry.
I mean, I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, so the first question, how many syllables are in the word rhinoceros?
Rhinoceros. 4.
Correct.
But that's like, I'm good with English and grammar.
No. These are easy ass questions.
Bad with everything,
I just want to see if you know them. Okay, second question. What makes a square a square?
Lines. 4 of them to be exact.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. 4 equal sides.
Okay.
These are terrible
4
questions.
4 equal sides.
Yeah. These are actually these are 5th grader questions. Wait,
does nothing else have 4 equal sides? Like all squares?
No, that's what makes a square a square.
That's so cool for squares. Seriously, how unique of them.
Yeah. How many? I suck at geology, but how many states made up the United States before Alaska and Hawaii?
It's geography. There's geology.
I said geography.
You said geology. What a fucking idiot, seriously.
Okay, we're gonna move on from the questions.
No, wait, no. How many
I'll ask you one more.
I'm having a blast.
How many legs do arachnids have?
How many legs do arachnids have?
Yeah.
You're telling me
I've surprised you with an arachnid.
All arachnids have the same amount of legs?
Yeah. That's what makes it an arachnid. I think arachnophobia.
Like 7.
8. You think of a spider.
Yeah, I was thinking of a spider. That's what I said.
I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of your exes and being able to film with them.
Yes.
Who's
your favorite?
Who's my favorite?
Well, I guess other than Jake Paul,
because I'm friends with Jake. Sadly, I'm sorry.
I could say the same. I'm just kidding.
Who? I think, honest to God, which one would you say was your fault? Like, I know you say like you always. No, I understand, but like, which one did you fuck up the most? Do you think?
Oh man,
I have to know. This is something
that's hard. To be honest with you, I was in a very private relationship during the time when we were neighbors, like more so recently, like last year with a guy named Goody. And for a while, honestly. And He was a great guy. I see him sometimes now and I'm like, shit. But at the same time, I think that he like needed someone that wasn't like me and I needed someone who wasn't like him. And we're great friends to this day.
Yeah.
But I don't even know. I fumbled that one.
Right.
I don't know if it makes me a narcissist to think that I'm like right in the majority of my breakups. But like with Maud's son, like I look at our relationship and
you dated Maud's son?
Yes.
Well, I didn't even know that.
Yes, you did, because I was in a throuple with Bella with Maud's son. Remember?
I did not know that. I swear.
That's why she made Stupid Fucking Bitch, because Bella was kind of saying like, oh, like you met Maud through me and now that we're broken up, you're going to be with him. But then my kind of argument back was like, well, she like kind of made us date. Like the whole public thought we were dating and for a long time we weren't. Like she was like, we're in a throuple. But like it was really just like, oh no, you're dating both of us and told us both to suck it up or fucking dump you. So
what is being like, in a throuple like?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say
I've never been in
fully.
So I'm
you and Culver are
yeah. So
counting a third. Wow.
You know I've dated other people than Culver, right?
I just don't like to think like that. So seriously, never say that out loud. I can't seriously actually maybe even cut it out of the podcast. But so then afterwards, Bella kind of fucked us both over and we kind of like trauma bonded and like dated. And we had like the happiest, dopest relationship. And he taught me he was so creative and taught me so much about life and being happy and shit and whatever. And so I'll look back and be like, fuck, so there was a while where I was like, damn, I fucked that up. But at the same time, he broke up with me because he told me, this was right before I was going to start my OnlyFans.
Right.
And he was like, if you do that, like we can't be together. And
girl made her bag.
I look at my life now, like had you stayed with him and just like been a little wife and like not secured your future, I guess, and made that, I would have lived with a regret of that for like a really long time. And the amount of doors that opened up for me to help other people and like, you know what I mean? Like make money and do shit. And I don't even know, it would just be so weird. So like a lot of I don't know, Brad cheated on me. I don't think I did anything wrong to Jake Paul. Seriously, I can't say it enough. Bella and I,
well,
I don't know. That we just had to go our separate ways. I don't know.
But that's normal. That's okay. And I think as we're...
Basically, I'm perfect. And anyone who's ever lost me should seriously just...
No, and I vouch. Tana is totally perfect.
Seriously, Chris recently, I don't know. We were...
Oh my God. Are you guys still together?
No.
Okay.
And like finally, I think actually...
keep in mind, you and Chris have broken up several times.
It's like a good 7. But that's awful. I think I'm starting to realize that I have a very I know this. I have a very addictive personality.
Sure.
But I think for a long time, I underestimated the addiction to toxicity and toxic relationships and toxic people. And that's kind of like what that was. I think we both were very wrong. But he also made me realize like, I can't be with someone who's like more toxic than me. Like he out-toxics my toxic. And I learned a lot about how that's just not a thing. So
I don't even know where to start with this. I think as we wrap up the podcast and we're almost done, I think something is like, we've talked about everything and, we may have not hit on the fact that you almost broke electoral law with a Twitter post for Booty for Biden, but you've done a lot of things.
That is some dumbass shit I did. That was so fucking stupid. And that's what I mean. Like impulsivity. I'm way better at being impulsive now, no conventions, all that type of shit. But like you're not going to Google if telling people that you'll send them a nude in exchange for voting for a president is legal or not. You're just going to do that. I photoshopped Joe Biden's face onto my head in an ass pic and grid posted it. Take my phone away. For the love of fucking God. Every time I think about that, I'm just like, you dumbass bitch. Like,
it's okay though. That's something. I don't know if that was okay. Not legally okay. But like
my heart was in the right place. Me in court to the judge, my heart was in the right place. She's like, "Well, you're about to be in the wrong place."
As I was going on that tangent, I think as we finish this, there's something like obviously, I was saving this for the end because this is something I've struggled with a lot is mental health, and you nearly committed suicide with Xanax. Is that real?
Yeah, definitely. I actually never really talk about that. I didn't say it like that when I said it. I think that's how the media...
I'm reading an article header.
I was saying at all. Like when I was saying it, I was saying the media just kind of took that and ran with it. You know what I mean? But
I wanted to ask you about it because that's something I've struggled with. Is obviously, there's addiction, but not even just that. It's something in my mental health. I think with that, believe it or not, somehow you are a fucking influence for people.
Seriously, don't take that.
Like I have people reach out to me, like genuine, like people I went to high school with, and are like, I love Tana so much. Can you please thank her for like, you know, being able to be.
It's the first time I'm hearing of this. So all he ghosted you.
No. but like it's something. It's like there's so many people who reach out to me who absolutely love you, and I think you are very real with them. And I think this is something I wanted to ask you about because I saw the headline and I was like, there's no way that if this is true, this is something you'd be interested in talking about. It's like it was an accident. Did it actually happen?
It was never ever purposeful, like a suicide attempt. I've been suicidal in this life, but I mean, I've struggled with addiction, really, and I don't talk about this enough, honestly. This conversation is inspiring me.
You and I both.
Yeah, no.
I was addicted to cigarettes.
This one compared to some other ones, seriously awful.
Right.
I tried Xanax for the first time at like 14 or 15 years old. I had like a boyfriend who was like a little older, was always doing it, selling it crazy. I was like fully like 15 snorting lines of Xanax. I honestly accredit that to a lot of the reason why I think I dropped out, because it really like fucked with my motivation towards school and stuff. But I was addicted to Xanax for the first time at like 15, and I didn't do it and it was just because that was the first time I'd ever just, I guess, completely felt numb of like my thoughts, or you know what I mean, just like actually able to escape everything you're currently feeling. And at that time I was still at home, and it was just, oh my God, I was like, this drug is amazing. And then I didn't do it for a very long time, and then I dated a little Xan, did a couple of them, but then MTV and I obviously don't blame them, but the time I was filming MTV was just shit got a lot. You know what I mean? There were just cameras on me 24/7. I was actually working every single day, like just like 6, 7 a.m. to like midnight, start over every single day, because it was like I was trying to be a full-time vlogger. I was also like getting fake married to fucking Jake Paul. I was also shooting an entire reality show. I was also working on a perfume. I was also working on merchandise, clothing line, all this fucking shit. Like I was just, oh my God. And I was just so stressed, and no one really understood. It was also kind of like anytime I would like talk about it, everyone would just be like, well, suck it up, Tana, come go to confessionals tomorrow on MTV, like whatever. Like I just felt very alone, very stressed, it was too much. And I don't even know how it like started. I just started taking Xanax again. So it was like I would wake up, work all day, MTV, do everything I had to do all day. And then that night at midnight, I was just getting so fucked up. And there's like 2 or 3 times where I was just, I probably should have just kicked the bucket. I don't know. I mean, I was on way too many, or shit happened where I was like, giving symptoms of overdose vibes. And the last time where it was actually when we were neighbors, was the last time where I like really almost died. And then
Jesus,
I think
I would have rushed over there. I would have been like, Tana.
No, yeah, but you don't even want to see what I looked like that night. It was and I was so fucked up too that I had like every symptom of an overdose, and I didn't care. And they took me to the hospital, and then I wouldn't go in, and I was like, I want to fucking die. It was awful. But the next day I remember waking up. That's the sad part about addiction, I think, that people don't talk about enough, is it's like how much you scare everyone in your life.
I mean, I lost my mom to addiction, so I understand.
100%. And you're so engulfed by this feeling that you're chasing that it's not that you don't care, but it's that it controls you and it controls your life. But it sobered me very quickly to see how much it just would have affected everyone, and how
it would have affected me, Tana. Yeah, that's for sure.
So I definitely, and I mean, I still definitely struggle with just like being addictive. I have a very addictive personality, but my will to live is at an all-time high. And even at that time, that's what's crazy, is the MTV time was a time where I really didn't want to, I didn't really, I was, I don't know if I was suicidal. I was just like, fuck, this is all so much. I just wanted to like run away from my own life for a second. But even the time, like I was saying, when we were neighbors, when that happened, I was happy. My life was great. I didn't want to die.
You lived
I was just
right
like,
next
fuck,
to me.
I want to take literally, but I was just like, I want to take a little Xanax. And then it was like, oh no, that little one wasn't a good one.
Well, if you ever need someone to kick you in the ass, my door, it may be in butt fuck 40 miles away.
I live so far.
No, you live far. No. I live in a normal area.
Really? I guess. But even I'm moving to a normal area and you're still going to be so far.
Okay, well, to the whole addiction thing, do you think, I know you're Christian and all this stuff. And, my dad raised me Christian, so I wear his cross around my neck all the time. Aww. It's something is like, do you think that it's a part of God's plan? Do you think it's something where it's like you feel like you're meant to go through half these things and all 100%. The shit that's happened to you or all the mistakes you've made? Do you think it's all meant to put you onto the path of where you're evidently going to be?
I think it's very funny because I really thought we were going to come on here today and just like talk about the lightest shit. This has been our deepest conversation.
This is what this podcast is.
You're asking me about God's plan right now. Like I had no idea.
Well, I'm genuinely curious.
But I think every single thing that ever happens
Right.
to me is a part of a greater good and a plan, and there's a higher purpose. And I mean, even just in life, I feel like from the things I've struggled with, like addiction and shit, I've helped a lot of my friends and people I know, and that's like, I'm very open about this shit online, but I can't even begin to express to you how many celebrities and influencers I know who've come to me extremely struggling with addiction or needing help or needing someone to be there for them or hold them accountable that could never be open about it, that's just not their brand or who they are. Right. Or they feel like they can't. And like, but not even just that too. Even when I posted that video talking about MTV and struggling with drugs and shit like that, the amount of fans and people who would come to me and be like, you know, like, thank you for helping me stay sober. I'm this many days sober. Or I'm clean off this. And like, you know what I mean? And I just like, I'll always be honest about that type of shit.
Well,
and that's...
You always have me.
I love you.
Sometimes.
Seriously. He's like, but if you're late one more fucking time.
And at this current moment, I'm proud to say that I don't find you guilty for the marital status tax evasion crime. And at this current point... The door is unlocked and you are free to go.
But to be fair, I did technically do that one little electoral thing. So
I do find you guilty of a fucking booty for fun. And that is a wrap on Locked In. Tana Mongeau, you are officially locked out.
That is so fucking crazy. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to be the first guest.
Will you let me fucking finish for goddamn sake? Tana Mongeau, you are finally locked out.
I'm okay.
God damn it, Tana.